Hi, I'm David Smith. I'm the Managing Director of Ashleigh Scotland Limited and also the Chair of DYW Ayrshire. Well, Ashleigh Scotland, we started back in 2001. We're a general building contractor. In terms of geography, we generally are the west of Scotland, covering Glasgow, Dumfries and Galloway and Ayrshire. We have two bases. We've got a new office down in Dumfries, and we've also got a fantastic new HQ here in Prestwick that we're very proud of. The type of work we do all sorts of construction work. We do refurbishment, we do new build, we do residential, we do healthcare, commercial, education, so you name it, we can pretty much build it. In terms of our scale, we turned over £42 million last year and we employ just over 140 people. My role as DYW Chair started back in October last year, so it's still relatively new, but at the same time I feel well under the table. The role is something I feel quite passionate about. It echoes what we do as a company about investing in young people and giving young people choices. I'm a quantity surveyor to profession. I left school when I was 16 at Belmont Academy, and I decided to do the part-time route to get my degree in quantity surveying. Again, probably echoes what we talk about in DYW, but it was the right way to do it. After my 5 years getting my qualification and my degree, I've then dotted about quite a few different companies, gaining experience over the years, and found myself with a team of great guys in 2001, and we started Ashleigh Scotland Limited. Actually, I hadn't heard of DYW until I met Val Russell of the Chamber, and she mentioned it to me, and how there was a lot of values echoed between what DYW do and what we do as a business, and what I'm about as an individual. I got my chance as a quantity surveyor with bar construction, and cut my teeth. Bill Bar allowed me to do a huge amount of work and a huge amount of responsibility at a relatively young age, and I think it stood me in good stead. So I firmly believe that vocational skills are equally as important as getting qualifications from degrees and university and colleges. It's the way I went, which for me has been very successful. So that's what attracted me to the DYW. In short, I got given my chance, so I feel that there's opportunities for young people to be given their chance to grow and blossom like it's happened to me. It's a great opportunity to mould your future workforce at a really early age, raise awareness of your industry. It's something that's a bit of a bugbear with me with construction. People refer to it as trades. So from our point of view, we're going into primary schools and secondary schools and really pointing out the different career paths in construction, but that goes for any industry. So you're being involved, you're identifying potentially a future workforce, but not only that, you actually can get training at school level tailored to the needs of your business going forward, which is really important. I mean, the whole ethos of DYW is to have a young workforce work ready and with the proper skills to augment your business going forward. So I think it's a really good thing for Ayrshire companies to be involved in. The partnership is something we're very proud of. It's something we get a huge amount out of, and me personally as well. It started off at a business breakfast at Belmont Academy. Their DYW lead in the school was really passionate, and I thought we could do something here. So got our heads together and we came up with a completely sort of unique partnership project. Basically, there's 12 students. They have to apply for the position. They have to go through a mock interview. So it's a proper sort of employment process all the way through. And then once we get the 12 on board, we have an introductory meeting and we take them on a sort of journey through construction over 13 lessons. So they involve visiting one of our projects, having a look at a potential new site that could be built next to the project. They see all the different stages of construction and all the different details. They have a chance then they go to, with a partnership with Ayrshire College, they go along and they do an afternoon doing paint and decorating and plastering. They've done an afternoon doing joiner work. They've had a very fun afternoon, I led to believe, doing brickwork the other day. And then on top of that, we go back into the school and we teach them about the details about cost planning from a quantity surveyor point of view, from programming, from a construction point of view. And then at the end of all that, we've given them this project to design a site, cost plan a site, program a site, and deliver a presentation to our board of directors in here, along with Holly from Mast Architects, who's been involved, Ayrshire College and DYW, and the winner gets a fantastic trophy and prize. Probably more importantly, they all get a Dynamic Youth Award, which they can use in their CV going forward. So it's been great fun. It's been really rewarding. So it's S3 that are doing them. So we won't see the fruits of our efforts for a few years, but I'm hoping that we raise awareness enough amongst these 12 pupils every year that a couple of them could be potentially our future workforce, and we'll know them and we'll understand them and they'll know our business by then. So not only is it personally very rewarding, we are trying to mould our future workforce and raise awareness of all the different roles in construction. It's not just trades, which a lot of parents and teachers use that term. There's architecture, there's engineering, there's accountancy, there's quantity surveying, there's estimating. So there's a whole myriad of career paths that can come with construction. So it's been great fun. It's been great fun. We took our first apprentice on the very first year. We started in 2001 and we've kept the programme going all the way through. I think the best way to describe it is we have an organic growth model in the business, and the apprenticeship just slots straight into what we do. There's two types. There's a trade apprenticeship, but there's also a professional apprenticeship. The trade apprenticeship, we take on 4 or 5 each year. We help them work right the way through. Apprentices generally have a stumble or need a curdle at some point, and that's fine, we're well experienced in that. But in terms of growing the business, it allows us to have a very loyal workforce, and I think that's probably the key part, is that in construction, over the years, a joiner or a brickie could potentially just walk across the road to another site for an extra £1, and that's the way it's always been. But if you grow your own, and that's about apprenticeships, so if you grow your own, we do feel it instills a loyalty, and we lose very few apprentices at the end. And that allows us to take our business forward at very small sections. We tend to take the turnover up maybe a couple of million a year, and that allows for the progression. So the apprentices become tradesmen, the tradesmen can maybe move on to project management or assistant project management. They can then in turn become project managers and contracts managers, and it just works all the way up. But with that loyalty, we've always got one eye on succession planning for the business. So I mean, literally we had our apprentice interviews in here the other day, and we've got one eye on, they're going to be a good tradesman or tradesperson, but potentially are they going to step onto project management or go in a different direction. So it's something that's really valuable to our business and really ingrained in what we do. I think vocational training is really important. The level of support you'll get through vocational training is completely different from what you get from full-time education. Ayrshire College are fantastic and university is fantastic, and you'll have tutors and that sort of safety blanket type structure in there. But when you're doing an apprenticeship, we'll put you alongside a tradesman who is a positive, good influencer of a young person. We'll try and match them up that they've got something in common to chat about. But I think the key thing about it all is it's great going to college and getting qualification, but with vocational training, you have a person there to put an arm around and say, well, I don't know what I'm doing, and if you have a wobble, you've got that support network there. So I think an apprenticeship's a great thing to do. From our business point of view, 50% of the people sitting around our top management table are from a trade background, so the sky is the limit. And I always say that to our apprentices when they start, that you could become a project manager, a contracts manager, the construction director, whatever. The sky is the limit. There's a trade is a really good career, but it can lead on to all sorts of things. And through my time with DYW, I have noticed that you can start your apprenticeship doing one thing and it can be completely not related to construction, but end up with a fantastic career because of the skill set and the employability skills you've learned on the job, and go in a completely different direction. So I think it's a great way of getting trained and a great start to a career. I think the biggest thing is loyalty. It's a really big investment for an employer to take an apprentice on. It's a long-term investment, it's not a short-term fix to an immediate resource or labour issue that you have. So it is a long-term investment, but do you know, see what you get back. You can mould a young person into the ethos and the values of your company. If you import that skill set in, there's sometimes barriers to that. The loyalty part I can't emphasise enough. We do lose one or two, but you know, more often than not, we've got a skilled, young, ambitious workforce that has come through that way, and the investment we've put in at the front end is paid back so many times over. So I would absolutely encourage other employers to take on apprentices. And it's all about awareness. Projects like the project we're doing with the Belmont Partnership help. The gender split we have on that project is 50-50. I think that's really important. But it's difficult. Stereotypically, I think the stats are showing that girls are going down predominantly the old-fashioned routes, and the boys are doing the same. So, see, to break that, it's really difficult. The only way to do it is raise awareness. So, I believe that starts at primary school. Obviously goes into secondary school. So, education and teachers have a huge amount to play in that, but also parents, and actually making parents understand that, you know, it's not the way it used to be 30 years ago. It's really important to do that. It's a tough nut to crack, I have to say. As a company, you know, we're trying to sort out our gender balance in terms of construction, and it's really difficult. You know, it's really difficult if we don't get, you know, people coming through the door to apply, then we can't take on, you know, females in construction. So it's difficult. It's difficult. I don't have the answer. It's raising awareness and trying to educate our young people that, you know, you don't have to follow a particular career path just because that's the way it's always been. Business size doesn't matter. So if you're a PLC with you know, hundreds of employees, it doesn't matter. If you're an SME, it doesn't matter. If you're a micro business, you know, one person band, it doesn't matter. You can contribute and you will make a difference. Finding time in private industry is difficult. It's difficult for me, it's difficult for everybody else in private industry, but with a bit of careful sort of diary planning, I'm sure everybody could free up an hour, a couple of hours, you know, and it doesn't matter what sort of scale you get into. You know, you could go and attend a career event, you could do a mock interview, you could just go in and chat to some kids in school. So from that point of view, it doesn't matter what you're putting in, but the sense of reward is really high. You know, we come out from events thinking we've made a difference. So, you know, even as a micro business, if you go in and chat about, you know, graphic design or HR or whatever business you're in, and you come out of that, you've given a little bit more awareness and choice to, you know, somebody who's going through a process we've all went through at some point when we're making career choices, and potentially help them get a positive destination. So yeah, I think it's a great thing to be involved in. Personally, I take a lot out of it. I know our staff from our company take a lot out of it, but you know, through DYW, all the other companies that have got involved have enjoyed the process and do feel rewarded and fulfilled coming out from an event thinking, yeah, do you know what, I've done something really good today. So I'd really encourage you to get involved.